Hello everyone, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Ryan. So first, thank you everyone for coming tonight. And we're the first group, and we're students from 111. We're going to talk about making a difference through art and culture. So first, we're going to simply introduce about our topic, making a difference through art and culture.
So first, what is art? It's a common word that everyone can hear in life. But have you ever thought deeply about the definition of art?
Art is a special stage for the ones who want to perform themselves. It's also a special language for them to show what they're thinking.
Art can be divided into 8 types: painting, sculpture, architecture, music, literature, performance art, drama, and movie.
So first, drawings, which everyone knows that, yeah. Like paintings or oil pastes is the most common things.
And sculpture, like statues or stone carvings. And architecture, such as the buildings. For example, Taipei 101 is the most famous landmark in Taiwan, and it's also a performing type of architecture.
And the fourth, music, which I think it might be the most well-known art type that everyone knows. So it's not like some artworks in museums. We can listen to music whenever we want. And the fifth is literature, which I think it might be the most important art, because it can be included in all other types of art. For example, lyrics in music is a performance type of literary art. Novels we read are another.
Performance art, such as dancing, is a type of art to use body motions to exhibit art. Thus, I'll put drama and movies together. They are both art in the media.
And next, what is culture? I think we can separate culture into 5 sections. First, people have a system of behaviors, which is the basis of culture. When they build up a better behavior, they will start building their values of thoughts. Then, in this case, they will start build up some customs, which is a little bit similar to behaviors, but customs are most systemized.
When people start building up a better system of custom, they'll start building up artifacts. Some of the artifacts are for people's religions, such as temples for Buddhists and churches for Catholics.
So, as Jeremy said, artifacts built for religions builds up people's consciousness or beliefs. In this case, people goes back to making a better behavior, which makes cultural variety a cycle.
So how do art and culture go together, and how do they make a difference? We'll talk about it from 7 directions. Also, we'll do a concluding statement for you to know how art and culture work to make a difference.
So next, let's welcome Jordan and Boyan to explain art therapy and mental health.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Boyan.
So tonight we're going to talk about a connection between art therapy and mental health. First, what is art therapy? It's a form of emotional support for those who need mental health.
And it will help you release difficult thoughts and feelings so you can achieve a better mental condition.
It also helps relieve symptoms of cancer or other diseases.
And of course, it is safe and reliable if you find a good art therapist.
You don't need to know how to draw or to paint to do it. So we're going to separate it into 4 tips to talk about it. The first one is, how do we improve ability to deal with cancer or other pain? So in other words, it means by achieving a better mental condition.
So with art therapy, you can express your emotions and thoughts in any way you like. And it will improve your relationship with friends and family so you can interact more with them. And with art therapy, those people who used to have mental issues can change their body image. In other words, it will change the role they play in the society and makes them a more useful person.
It also makes them more creative and more self-confident. It also takes off pain or discomfort, both physically and mentally. It also helps them control anxiety, which they won't get so angry easily, which is what we're going to talk about next. So how does art therapy help stress and anxiety? First, it gives them a completely safe and non-judgmental space to work and live in.
Since art therapy can be any way you prefer to represent your thoughts, you can express creatively.
It also helps them cope with their difficult emotions.
Control over thoughts and feelings. Next, we're going to talk about how art therapy helps older adults with dementia. First of all, let's give a short introduction about what is dementia. For us males, we have lower risk of getting dementia. But if we get it, we'll be aggressive and struggle with concentration. Like maybe we cannot concentrate in classes or at work. Moreover, we'll daydream frequently.
As for females, they have a higher risk of getting dementia. But when they get it, they might lose the abilities to do their daily tasks and also lose their recent memories. It also changes their mood and personality. So how does art therapy help dementia? So first, it stimulates their brain so they can think more clearly.
And encourage them to speak. And the speech here doesn't specifically mean talking. It can be any way you like to prefer to express your emotions.
It also gives them a purpose, a goal to live on.
And increase their confidence. Last but not least, let's talk about how art therapy helps PD patients. So there are many treatments for PD, and the best one is art therapy, and we'll tell you why.
So why? Because it cures their motor and non-motor symptoms, and it also helps increase their visualizing skills.
There are emotional and social benefits, and will also improve investigation for PD since we still don't know much about it.
Next, let's welcome Jo Chen and Amber.
Hi, I'm Jo Chen. And I'm Amber. Today we're going to talk about the relationship between art and social justice.
There are many people who are suffering from unequal treatment, so they try to use art to change this situation. They use drawing, sculpture, graffiti, and other kinds of art to educate the general public for the social justice. Their aim is to raise critical awareness and facilitate social change. And today we are going to talk about 4 main facts about this: beauty standard, races, gender problems, and some public art.
First, I'm going to talk about the beauty standard. The artist of this work is called Rosea. She creates an ancient Greek goddess of love and beauty in her artwork. Also presents a cross-cultural rebellion in beauty ideas that traverses hemispheres. She's also interested in gangrel style, which women defend against traditional beauty norms by wearing darkened skin makeup, coloring their hair blonde, or applying long nail tips. The style references African American hip-hop culture, representing a world of nightlife in geisha.
Everyone knows that the blacks were slaves in the past, and there are still enduring some inequality. So I'm going to introduce the well-known art movement about this. Black art movement. The movement used theater, poetry, dance, and music to antagonize the slavery and racism of African Americans. In the end, they got social and historical recognition.
Next, I'm going to talk about the gender problems. The man in this picture is called Magnolia, and he's a Rixie, which he's male bird, but thinks himself as a female. And in this picture, he tries to show that the identity can be presented by multiple ways.
Next, we are going to talk about some examples about public art. The first one is about homelessness. They are always ignored by people and no one wants to help them. So the British government had an artist to create an art that to tell the residents that there are people struggling on the streets and they need their help. So the artist made this man-shaped glass sculpture that represents the homeless people are very pitiful.
This is the inflatable refugee. It's a 20 feet tall artwork in the Mediterranean Sea, and the government tries to let the public attention can focus on the refugee crisis. Green lights. It's concentrated in an area with high levels of vacancy in upstate New York, and it's meant to show the society and community that they're still alive. They're keeping the vacant properties. And these are other examples of public arts.
And now we are welcoming Hugo and Elger.
Hello, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Elger.
Today we're going to talk about using art to raise awareness about environmental issues. Okay, first, I'm going to talk about the history. Since primitive men drew on their cave walls, they have been incorporating environmental details in their pieces of art, like on the cave walls, etc. Now, artists have been incorporating environmental details due to global warming, sea level rising, etc.
Like what Ryan and Jeremy have just mentioned about, there are a lot of categories of arts. And two of them will be paintings and also music. So I'm going to talk about two famous paintings that are related to environmental issues. The first one will be this picture called Ocean Landmark by an artist named Betty B. Mose. She is an artist that concerns about environmental issues a lot, especially the consumption of coal. In this picture, we can see that there's a ship, and we all know that ship will waste a lot of coal. So to solve this problem, she wanted to make this picture to tell everyone that the importance of reducing coal. The next one will be this by an artist named Chris Jordan. In this picture, we can see that there's a bird and also some trash inside its body. So this picture reflects the consumption of a lot of materials that we actually use every day. Next, music. Earth Song by Michael Jackson. And this song is talking about a lot of circumstances and problems happening on our Earth, and of course including environmental issues. So he wanted to make a song to tell everyone that not only him or his community need to concern about this issue. Actually, all of the people in this world should face this crucial problem.
Okay, next I'm going to talk about plastic ocean theory. The amazing art, she's a Dutch photographer, and she found trash on the beach. And she wants people to understand the destruction that we made. And these are the beautiful artworks that she made. Take a look at it. Last, call to action. Humans' laziness exacerbates our Mother Earth. We need to start getting rid of polluting and start thinking of our own shelter. And be influenced by the advocates and also be an influencer, just like the artists convey their thoughts of environmental issues in their different pieces of art. And persuade others in your own way and inspire more and more people. Don't you want our Earth to last permanently? Next, we're going to welcome Mia and Elisa.
I'm Mia. And I'm Elisa. Today we're going to talk about Art and Cultural Exchange Program. Cultural exchange means sharing different ideas, traditions, and knowledge with someone who may be coming from a completely different background than your own. Cultural exchange broadens people's horizons and increases the tendency of acceptance. By understanding differences from others, we tend to recognize our own selves. Although the advance of technology has made nations virtually much
actual understanding of a diverse culture, traditions, living standards, and economic needs can only be understood through physical experience. Therefore, cultural exchange allows us to travel to different countries and experience different cultures. But at the same time, it provides an opportunity to better understand our own culture and traditions.
One of the examples of cultural exchanging is having a school trip to another country, where you can meet people from different places and experience different culture. And you can go to museums or exhibits in different countries. You can also watch the performers' artistic collaboration through performing, presenting, and sharing diverse art forms.
Cultural exchange is important because we can build cross-cultural understanding and deepen our knowledge of other cultures. Also, it builds cross-cultural understanding through exchanges and partnerships in the arts. Last but not least, we can learn more about ourselves and those around us.
The program promotes local culture by inviting foreign artists to experience local culture. It also collaborates with other art and culture organizations like the Fulbright program or TAEF, and it creates a new culture by respect for diversity and people's identity.
The Fulbright program is an example of cultural exchange. It was funded by William Fulbright in 1946. It encouraged American citizens to go abroad and increase the understanding between Americans and people from other countries.
The Fulbright program also collaborates with Taiwan.
TAEF is short for Taiwan Asia Exchange Foundation, and it was funded in 2018. It hosts cultural events, international visitorships, and innovative exchange programs. And next we'll have Terrence and Jenny.
Hello everyone, my name is Jamie.
And my name is Terrence. Today we're going to talk about art as a tool for community development.
Art is everywhere in our lives, from public exhibitions to music. But why is art important in community development?
Art projects can promote interaction in public space and increase civic participation and engage youth in the community and promote the power and preservation of place. And now we're going to talk about the details of the 4 ways. The first one is promote interaction in public space. It's good for your mental health because it can lighten your mood when you're not happy. And it's also good for your brain health because it can lower the risk of dementia, which is a kind of brain problem that will make you forget things easily. And it can also let you trust in others more easily and let others confide in you. And the next one is increase civic participation through celebrations. It can create connections for collective civic action. And it's very essential for democratic society because we need people to participate in the national events so that the country can be controlled by the people. Annual or seasonal events can be affected.
Through arts like music and movies, we are more likely to engage young people in building their community. And with young people in their community, everything is more modern and more people will engage in building their community. And we can also pass our culture on to the next generation. Next. With artists cooperating with local festivals, it creates a sense of ownership among people. And with the sense of ownership, everyone knows that the community is theirs. more and more people will participate in building their community.
And here are two successful stories. The first one is the artist Hunter Franks from the USA. He promoted neighborhood postcard project to change people's stereotypes of a city called Bayview, which is a city that goes on the news for wrong reasons. And artist Hunter Franks collected stories from residents in underinvested places and put it on the postcard.
Next is the Lennon Wall. The Lennon Wall is originated in Prague and was inspired by an artist called John Lennon. People in the 1980s expressed their feelings through the wall, and it soon became popular among young people. In the umbrella movement in Hong Kong, people also used the Lennon Wall to express their feelings. They posted notes with freedom messages on the wall and fight for freedom.
Now the next is Jelena and Ariel.
Hello, I'm Ariel.
And I'm Jelena.
Today we would like to talk about cultural preservation and heritage protection.
World heritage can be divided into three, including natural heritage, cultural heritage, and composite heritage. It is determined by UNESCO, and now there are 1,157 world heritage. Most of it is cultural heritage, and Italy is the country that has the most heritage around the world. Now I'm going to talk about cultural heritage. First is Taj Mahal in India. It is a very famous building, and there was an article talking about it in our textbook. It is an ancient building that began in 1632 and finished in 1653. The building was for Queen Jimmu Banu, Emperor Shah Jahan's second wife. Both the emperor and his wife are buried there. And it is also an architecture of Indian Muslim culture, because both the emperor and his wife believe in Islam. The next one is the Great Wall of China. It is the longest building around the world, and also one of the 7 wonders of the medieval world. It began between the 8th and 5th centuries BC. Some of the remains are dilapidated after thousands of years. So most of the remains we see today are the main Great Wall. And now I'm going to talk about natural heritage. Pamukkale is a very famous natural site in Turkey. And the meaning of its name is Cotton Castle. The water in it is a hot spring. On the top of the mountain, there is an ancient city of Heracles. Here, you can see many Roman temples.
It's very important to protect and preserve our cultural heritage. It allows people to better understand previous generations and the history of where they come from. We can support the work of the museum. In Taiwan, we have National Palace Museum. There are many famous exhibitions such as the jade cabbage and the meat-shaped stone. These Chinese artifacts were moved from the Forbidden City in Beijing. The Forbidden City was declared a World Heritage Site in 1987. By exploring the Palace Museum in Taipei and the Forbidden City, we can better understand Taiwan's history. During Taiwan's history, many countries have populated Taiwan, creating a varied culture. There are many different styles of architecture. By visiting these historic sites, we can now tell us history well. Education is also important for cultural preservation. Schools can set up classes for dialect and competitions for dialect songs. These activities can encourage children to learn dialect language. Cultural heritage is a collection of important assets of a culture. Everyone should protect it and pass it on to future generations. Now let's welcome Grace and Kathy.
Hello, I'm Grace from HL.
And I'm Kathy. Art has been with us for a long time, and the school is teaching us art. But why is it important for us to learn, and why are we learning it? So here's what we're going to be talking about. First, why we're learning art. And second, what's so important about learning art. And third, the challenges we might face whether we're learning art or teaching art. And last, our conclusion to this topic. So why do we learn art? Well, it enables students to understand and value art expressions throughout life. Students get to improve their critical and inquiry thinking, which means they get to judge things with their own opinions, and they also become more active and willing to ask. Students also learn to appreciate the beauty, proportion, and grace of art. Artists let history periods come to life, and they show their values and beliefs through their artwork, such as drawings, music, drama, or sculptures. Arts let students become more productive and creative, because students get to investigate lots of communities, such as their country or other countries and different kinds of people, and global issues such as global warming and the wars around the world. Also, students learn the language of art, which means they get to express their thoughts clearly in their artworks, and then they get to understand what others are trying to show. And also, the creation of the students are a reflection of their thoughts, which lets teachers and parents get to understand their children or their students better, and especially for teenagers right now who are unwilling to speak.
What are other reasons why we learn art education? First, it can help us be more creative and develop problem-solving skills, which help us save a lot of time. Secondly, it can present difficult concepts visually, like as you can see 1 + 1 = 2, even though this isn't that hard, but you can see what I mean. Third, it can help students that are normally not that engaged in classwork to participate more in class. And this leads to more and more people willing to learn art education. Fourth, art education connects the world together, which meaning as we see artworks from other countries, we learn about their culture and customs, which connects the world together. 5, experiences in art education also adds up to our critical thinking. Like Kathy said, it means we can learn to judge things in our own way. There are many challenges that we might face during art education. First, you might be in lack of inspiration and material in poor parts of the country. Secondly, abstract art. Everyone is different, so we might see the same piece of art in different ways. And this leads to the world never adapting to the world, which may lead to afraid of failure and rejection from other people. This leads to less and less people willing to become artists. At last, our conclusion. Art helps us understand ourselves, and it reflects our own opinions and expressions. Thirdly, it can help us wade through a sea of information and find out what's really useful for our projects in school. And this is the key to college. Art is an opportunity. Let us not miss it.
And now it's time for Ryan and Jeremy to bring us the final conclusion.
to us. I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Ryan.
Back to the theme. How do art and culture make a difference?
So first, art therapy, which promotes helping Parkinson's disease or treating them. And next, art and culture to promote social justice, to break all racism or gender or cultural stereotypes.
Third, using art to raise awareness about environmental issues, like Michael Jackson's Earth Song. Fourth, the Art and Culture Exchange Program. It allows artists and students to travel to other countries and share different cultures.
And fifth, art to help community development, like Lena Wall in Hong Kong is the best example. And last, sixth, heritage, natural, and cultural protection to protect some artifacts we see now.
Finally, art education, which is the most effective in our lives, ameliorates youth development.
So last but not the least, all of these above can help to make a difference. But the question is whether to do it or not. It's definitely not going to be enough for only several of people to do it. So now we have to reveal to others to do it with us. And we're the students from AJO and HL. Let's all applaud their effort. And thank you for listening.